Hello my dear students, welcome back to PW with me Vandana in yet another lecture. Now today's topic is something that you keep on asking about and you are very curious about, that is academic versus general IELTS. Which one is easier? What are the dissimilarities and what are the similarities between these two versions of the IELTS exam? So within 10 minutes, I'm going to break down every single tidbit for you. So we are going to dive deep into and understand what are the similarities between general versus academic IELTS, what are the dissimilarities, and we are also going to understand which one is easier. So here we go. Alright, so let's talk about IELTS Academic and let's first understand what IELTS Academic is all about, why you should take IELTS Academic, not general. So, it is designed for students who want to study at university or college. That means if you want to go abroad for higher studies, then you cannot consider IELTS general, then you have to consider academic IELTS. It is required for undergraduate, postgraduate or professional registration also. And it assesses whether you can handle academic language and formal writing. So basically, आपको अगर foreign country में, English speaking country में आगे further studies के लिए जाना है, तो you should consider academic IELTS. Now let's understand then what exactly general IELTS is for. So general IELTS is intended for those who want to work or migrate abroad. आपको foreign country में settle होना है या वहाँ पे work visa चाहिए. In that case, you should consider taking general IELTS. And it is commonly accepted for immigration to countries like Canada, Australia and the UK, basically English speaking countries. They accept general IELTS. And it focuses on everyday communication skills used in social and workplace settings. So academic IELTS focuses on academic language and this one focuses on everyday topics, your communication skills. Now let's proceed and understand about the similarities. Now, both have 4 modules. Whether you take general IELTS or academic IELTS, in both the exams, you have 4 modules which are listening, speaking, reading and writing. And the time span is same. What do I mean by that? For example, in academic IELTS, if the reading module is for 1 hour and then in general IELTS also, this is for 1 hour. And same for the other modules, the time duration is the same. And speaking and listening modules are exactly the same, both in academic as well as in general IELTS. So if you are preparing for academic IELTS, the same kind of preparation needs to be done for general IELTS for listening and speaking. So there in these 2 modules, there's just no difference at all. So this was about similarities. Now let's talk about differences. What are the dissimilarities? So academic reading, let's talk about academic reading. It contains 3 lengthy passages. Lengthy means one passage is somewhere around 8 to 10 paragraphs and you get 3 such passages in the reading module. Whereas in general training, here also you get 3 lengthy passages. But out of these 3 lengthy passages, these ones are, the first 2 passages, they are divided into 2 shorter segments. And the third one is the lengthier one. So in short, in general reading, you get to deal with shorter segments, shorter passages. That makes it a little easier. Now, writing task 1 for academic IELTS aspirants, here you need to write a report on any visual input. Visual input means you may be given a bar graph, a line graph, and you have to write a report on that data. You have to summarize that data. That is the writing task 1 for academic IELTS aspirants. But what about general IELTS aspirants? So here, writing task 1 is letter writing, which of course is simpler than report writing since you don't need to analyze data over here. Moving on now, so this was about dissimilarities. So there are 2 dissimilarities. Number 1 is in the reading module, where in general reading you get shorter passages, but in academic reading you get 3 lengthy passages. And the level of your language in academic writing is more advanced, whereas in general reading, the level of the language is simpler as compared to academic. And the other major difference is in the writing module, where task 1 is entirely different. For academic IELTS students, it's report, and for general IELTS students, it's letter. These are the main differences between academic and general IELTS. Now let's see which one is easier. Okay, let's also talk about reading difficulty. Like I said, academic version is more challenging because texts are longer, denser and use complex vocabulary. Advanced language होती है, difficult vocabulary होती है academic IELTS reading में. Whereas here in writing, academic writing is also more demanding because it requires analysis and formal academic style. So if you compare writing task 1 of academic and general, so in academic where you have to write the report, you need very formal style of writing. You need academic language over there. Whereas in letter writing, it depends. If you are getting a letter which is informal letter, let's say you are writing to a friend, so you need absolute informal English over there. So once again, we need more academic kind of language here in the writing module of academic IELTS. Moving on. All right, so reading in detail, long academic passages, and yes, in academic IELTS, your reading passages are authentic passages. Now, what do I mean by that? These passages are already out somewhere in some book, some newspaper or journal. So that means they're already printed and they have been taken from such resources. That means if you are somebody who has a habit of reading a lot of books and novels, then this is going to be a cakewalk for you. But if you are not somebody who has got reading as your hobby, then of course you will have to develop those skills. All right, and general IELTS, like I said, your passages are shorter and simpler ones, and you get this kind of stuff. You get advertisements, notices, workplace documents, that kind of thing you get in general IELTS reading module. So, summarizing visual input, charts, graphs and maps, that is your task 1 for academic IELTS. For task 2, okay. Now, let's also talk about task 2. Now, many people, a lot of students who have been preparing for the IELTS exam, they think कि task 2 तो same होता है. In the writing module, okay, the main difference, even I agree, the main difference is in task 1, but then what about task 2? Guys, you need to understand that task 2 is the same. Although it is the same for general and IELTS aspirants, there's small difference that we can't ignore. And that difference is that in academic IELTS, your writing task 2, which is essay writing here, you get a little more complex topics. Whereas in general IELTS, writing task 2, there also you get essay, but the topics are everyday topics. So the topics are simpler over there. Let me explain. Look at this. So task 2 is essay writing, and this is we are discussing academic. So here look at the example task 2 prompt, that is essay writing prompt. So here our question is, the main aim of science should be to improve people's lives. Now the main context here is science, and they are talking about science with regards to improving people's lives. And then they are asking your opinion, to what extent do you agree or disagree. So you get these kind of topics in academic IELTS for your essays, which are little complex and they require your critical thinking skills to generate decent ideas, right? Whereas in general IELTS, there also you are going to get essay writing prompts, but then look at the example prompt I've got for you. So look at the essay writing prompt here for general writing. It says some people think that it is better to live in a big city while others prefer living in the countryside. Countryside means rural areas. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Now this is a very simple question. Anybody with just a snap of their fingers, they can generate ideas related to living in a big city and living in a rural area. So that's very simple, and that is the difference. What is the difference in task 2 is that although you are going to get essay writing, whether you are taking academic IELTS or general IELTS, your task 2 of the writing module is going to be essay writing. The questions are going to be simpler and harder depending on general or academic IELTS that you are taking. I hope that's clear. And yes, task 1 is entirely different. Letter for general and report for academic. So overall, general IELTS is slightly easier because of these two reasons. Number one, reading passages are shorter and the language is simpler. Writing task one is letter writing, which is less analytical than, a lot less analytical than report writing, where you have to analyze a lot of data and use absolute academic formal language, which is why general IELTS is considered easier. But please do not underestimate general IELTS. If you have to take general IELTS, you really need to understand your English language skills. If they are excellent, if they are decent, then well done. If they are not, then you still have to prepare for it, because even in general IELTS, grammar and vocabulary, your pronunciation, fluency, all these things matter a lot. They can't be ignored. Okay, so final tips, check requirements before booking your test. You simply can't book general IELTS just because it's easier. You need to see your requirements and accordingly you need to book the exam. I'm sure you understand that. Do not underestimate the general IELTS exam. Like I said, even in general IELTS, you require good grammatical range, you need good pronunciation, diction, good fluency, and vocabulary, of course, if you want to score. See, in general IELTS, usually 8,777 is required. 8 in listening and 777 in other 3 modules. And getting a 7 in writing requires you to work hard. Okay. And practice under timed conditions. That means if in 1 hour you are supposed to finish the writing module, then while taking your practice sessions or mock test, sit with a time tracker and finish your writing module in that 1 hour. Set an alarm. And aim for balanced band scores in all 4 skills. Yes, this is important, very important. A lot of students feel that मेरा listening अच्छा है, तो मैं listening में तो 9 band aim कर रहा हूँ, but speaking में 6 भी आ जाएंगे तो ठीक है. Don't do things like that. General में तो ये काम नहीं करेगा, because there you need 8,777 if you are the primary applicant. Right? So aim for balanced band scores in all 4 modules. And here is the summary. So listening is the same whether you are taking academic IELTS or general IELTS. Reading for academic is more complex. Here it's simpler everyday topics. Writing task 1 here is data report, whereas here it's just letter writing. Task 2 is essay, but the topics are harder. And here also task 2 is essay, but the topics are simpler in the general module. In the general IELTS version, speaking same, no difference at all, and overall difficulty of academic IELTS is higher, and here the difficulty level is lower. I am sorry for that. Yeah. All right. So with that, we come to the wrap of this session, and I hope I was able to help you in some little ways. If you want my help related to anything else with regards to your study abroad journey, feel free to post in the comments that what exactly do you want me to create videos for you. I will see you in the next lecture. See you. Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.